This is Andrew Kew, and you're listening to Pro Lacrosse Talk.
On Schreiber. Sidearm whip. Scores.
Now in front. Fidel scores. Ball Rabel. Splits two and scores.
Kylie O'Miller showing off those shifty skills.
Kelly, not shy. Bounces one home. What a start.
Welcome to Pro Lacrosse Talk, the voice of Pro Lacrosse. I'm Hutton, he's Adam. Together we're bringing you interviews with your favorite players and coaches, as well as news from all 4 professional lacrosse leagues. I'm here with Andrew Kew, rookie forward with the New England Blackwolves in the MLL, attackman with the Chesapeake Bayhawks, and 2019 MLL champion. Andrew, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So Andrew, you're from Oakville, Ontario. You're a graduate from the Hill Academy, which is a high school designed to set up athletes for success, not just academically, but also athletically. Tell me when you started playing lacrosse, and tell me about attending the Hill Academy and how it prepared you for college lacrosse.
Yeah, so I started playing lacrosse when I was 4. So it's been about, 19 years now. And I grew up playing in Oakville, and I didn't play a lot of field until, around high school age. Growing up, you do play a little bit of field, but it's more like box lacrosse on the field. But yeah, so after my 4 years at a Catholic high school, St. Thomas Aquinas in Oakville, I was going back and forth between whether I was going to go and play lacrosse or try to play lacrosse in college. I ended up making the decision to go to the Hill Academy. I always say it was probably one of the best decisions of my life. It kind of changed the way that everything went. I ended up going to the Hill. They just prepare you to be for the next level for the college lacrosse, and they also I just grew as a person while I was there. I think they're very disciplined, and it was good for me, and I had a really good experience there for the year that I was there.
That's awesome, and yeah, you certainly excelled when you got to college. You played Division II at Tampa University. You amassed 259 goals and 75 assists while there. And we're a USILA All-American. What was it like going from Canada all the way down south to Tampa and playing lacrosse down there?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm still down in Tampa right now. I love it. I was kind of sick and tired of the snow, I guess you could say. I took a visit at Tampa. I never looked back. I loved it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then you were actually drafted by the Florida Launch this past spring prior to the team folding. And then you kind of were in the player pool a little bit until July. The Bayhawks signed you. And since joining the Bayhawks, you had 28 points in 13 games, including a hat trick in the semifinal game and the game-winning goal in the MLL Championship. Tell me about this whirlwind of a rookie field lacrosse season.
Yeah, well, I was talking with Coach Burdick the other day. We were just kind of laughing about how it all worked out, and I was a little bit worried after, Florida folded. I didn't think that I was going to have a team to play for, going to get picked up, and luckily I got a call from Coach Cottle a few games into their season, and I ended up going down there for a practice/tryout, and it turned out that I ended up in Chesapeake, and it was awesome, great group of guys there. I wouldn't change how everything worked out, obviously, and no, the championship was a whole nother story. That's just an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, to talk me through, when you scored that game winner, what was going through your head? Because, you guys kind of had them on the ropes with them being 2 men down. They stifled your offense a little bit. You got possession back, and then you got that open look. But what was going through your head in that moment? Well,
it's funny. We had the 6-on-4, and I remember just being so nervous that I had a look at to shoot the ball, and my hand kind of slipped off the stick because I was so nervous, and I was worried about it. I'm like, I missed my opportunity, and then I guess after the penalty ran out, they just had some trouble picking up, and I was able to get another opportunity pretty wide open and finish it. So it was just an unbelievable experience. Kind of took a while to set in.
Yeah, no, that's great. It was a phenomenal championship game. But let's segue a little bit into the box game. You played with the Mimico Mountaineers Jr A team during the summers while you were in college. Then recently the Oakville Rock of the Major Series Lacrosse League this year. In your rookie campaign with the Rock, you had You ranked first on the team in goals with 29 and tied for first in assists with 28. How do you think playing for the Mountaineers and then eventually the Rock kind of help you refine your skills in the box game and, kind of help you prepare for the pros?
Yeah, well, definitely. It's awesome just playing in two great organizations like that. Getting traded to Mimico was a cool experience for me, getting to play for a Minto Cup with a great group of guys there. And then, going into Oakville, just an unbelievable group of guys there as well. Really enjoy playing for Coach Sawyer, and we had Coach Mike on the front door this year. You just can learn a lot from these guys, and they're just constantly trying to help you and better you. And then obviously the guys around me, I've been able to play with great players in both Mimico and Oakville, and that always helps, having great players around you. So it's just, I think it's definitely great to play in a couple of good organizations looking forward.
It's great, and you certainly caught the attention of a lot of people. You were drafted number 3 overall by the New England Blackwolves this past September. I got to speak to you at the draft, and you just talked about how excited you were to take your game to the next level. So now that you've signed with the Blackwolves, are some guys reaching out to you within the organization, or what are you kind of doing to prepare for the start of the NLL season coming up?
Yeah, it was great. I got a lot of I got some texts and they some of the senior guys, the vets on the squad, reached out to me, so that was great, just welcoming me, and I know a lot of guys in that locker room already, and I hear that they have a great culture and a great group, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You got that season coming up. Do you think your experience with the Bayhawks, being able to play in the field game kind of helped a little bit getting, you didn't really put the stick down at all. And we talk a lot about how the box game really prepares traditional field lacrosse players, for the field game. How is the field game, though, kind of vice versa, prepared you for the box game since you're more a traditional box lacrosse player?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you just have your stick in your hand is obviously, you're getting better, and so I think obviously, I love to play year round, and I think that's good for me, and I think the aspect too of just getting a season of pro lacrosse in before this training camp starts hopefully will help, and just some of the things that come along with that.
Awesome. So that kind of wraps up our main questions. We're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsor, and then we'll dive into our 5 and 5 segment. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of the Pro Lacrosse Talk podcast. We've been using Anchor for our podcast since the very start. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, and better yet, it's free. They allow you to easily record and edit your podcast so it sounds great and send it out to all the major networks such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and many more. Better yet, they connect you with advertisers so you can start making money from your podcast right away. So if you're interested in starting a podcast, download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Today's show is being brought to you in part by Stitcher Premium. You can use Stitcher Premium to listen to shows ad-free such as Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, Wolverine the Lost Trail, or our favorite, The Fantasy Footballers. For only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year, you get access to Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, and comedy albums. Better yet, if you go over to Stitcher.com/premium and use the promo code LACROSSE today, you can get 1 month free. So head on over to Stitcher, sign up, and get your free trial today. All right, so welcome back. Let's dive into our 5 and 5. So I'll start off with the lacrosse questions. Number 1, do you have any pregame superstitions or routines that you have before games?
Always a pregame shower.
Awesome. And number 2, what is your favorite lacrosse memory? I know that's a tough one.
That's MLL Championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. I figured that might be one, especially how fresh in your memory it is.
Yeah.
Number 3, who's a lacrosse player you looked up to when you were younger and tried to emulate?
I grew up going to camps of Dan Dawson's. He was an Oakville guy. Always looked up to him. I think he was a great leader, great role model. So always looked up to Dan.
Awesome. Number 4, what is your current lacrosse stick setup in terms of shaft, head, and stringing? And does it vary from the box game to the field game, or do you keep it pretty consistent?
I'm a signature guy, so signature everything right now.
Awesome. They've been putting out a lot of good stuff. I think the signature ball too is what the NLL uses, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
correct.
Number 5, what has been your favorite venue to play lacrosse in, whether it's box or field?
That's tough. I really enjoyed playing at Navy this season. It was great. We always had a great crowd there, and that was a lot of fun this summer.
Awesome. All right, so that's the lacrosse questions. Now let's kind of go off the field a little bit. What is your favorite class to take when you were at Tampa?
Oh, that's tough. I don't even know that. I would have to go. My favorite class I took a golf and archery class, which was pretty fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That must have been fun. Yeah. Have you done archery before? I'm sure you've golfed before, but.
No, other than just shoot bow and arrow in the backyard when I was growing up. No, I never took any archery.
That's awesome. All right, number 2, what are some hobbies or activities you enjoy doing when you're not on the lacrosse field?
Grew up playing hockey, so I played a lot of hockey growing up. Snowboarding. I was big into snowboarding. Just I love the winter sports as well.
Awesome. Number 3, what is your ideal vacation spot?
Always wanted to go to Australia.
Awesome. Number 4, what is your favorite meal, and do you prefer to dine out, take out, or cook at home?
I eat a lot of Chipotle. I don't know if it's my favorite meal, but I eat a lot of Chipotle. I'd have to say like home cooked steak, mashed potatoes, and Greek salad.
That sounds good. Number 5 and the final one, what's a book on your bookshelf that you've read or are reading right now that you'd recommend to a teammate or a friend?
I read a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water, which I would definitely recommend to anybody.
What's that about? I'm not familiar. Is it kind of more of a life lessons book, or is it nonfiction or fiction?
Yeah, just a life lesson, just basically about that you have to, walk before you run, basically, and you have to do the little things before everything kind of falls in place.
Awesome. All right, so that wraps up our 5 and 5. I like to usually end with one final question, kind of for our young listeners out there. What is some advice that you have for a young player who's looking to one day play lacrosse professionally?
I would just say the biggest thing is put the time in on your own, and you got to have a love and passion for this game, and if you're willing to put the time in and go out on your own and just constantly have the stick in your hand, I think good things will happen.
Awesome. Well, this has been great. Andrew, where can people find you on social media or online?
Instagram and Twitter, both QBall42.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Andrew. Again, congrats on the MLL Championship. With Chesapeake, we appreciate your time, and best of luck this season with the Blackwolves.
Thanks very much for having me.